mwenyewe.
Do you find that societies where there's almost a total reliance on this animal then take care of them better? I'm going to use the Lamu example. Lamu made up of an archipelago. So whether you're looking at Manda Bay, Kipungani, Shela, Lamu itself, and the other islands then to the west, all separated by water. And so your main transport, if you're connecting to the different islands, is water transport. But on the islands themselves, I mean, Lamu, Shela doesn't have any vehicles. Yeah. Lamu maybe has 3. Kipungani has 1, from what we understand, what we've seen and know. But you'll find that the donkey population, in many cases, rivals the human population. But you'll also find that they take care of these animals because there is a heavy reliance on them to move goods. So when the goods come from Manda to Lamu, for example, coming off of the boats, it is the donkeys that are moving them to different households, to shops. And if you move through Lamu or if you move through Shela, you will find that the way you have a bus stop, you have a donkey stop. They are there, they're being fed, they're being watered. There's a donkey clinics whereby if this one is it's being treated. But they rely on them, so they understand the importance of then taking care of them. And I think that there was a campaign at some point whereby Lamu was the center, whereby they made sure that, you got to treat this thing well, because if you don't, you will basically not survive it. Your roads are too narrow for you to use vehicles. This is the only form that you can use. So do we find that societies that are 90 to almost 100% reliant on these animals will treat them better?
Definitely. I think the whole picture that actually we paint for a very badly treated donkey is mostly in towns and cities.
Yeah.
Right.
Where donkeys have come in as the last resort. I talk to young people in Kiseri and they tell me, I wouldn't be using this donkey if I had gotten a job somewhere, downtown. So they are doing that not because they love it. They are doing it because then is nothing else. And probably some of them have never had contact with the donkeys. It's the first time they're coming across a donkey. So they really don't know how to use it. But look, traditionally, donkeys actually are very well treated. Go to Masai Land. You've talked about Lamu. Go even to Turkana. But even traditionally, do you know, Oko, that actually when they dig down the graves of pharaohs in Egypt, they find the pharaohs are buried together with donkeys. Because then the whole thinking was this pharaoh can never survive in the afterworld without having some donkeys with them. Because then even the pyramids of Egypt were built by donkeys. So that's how critical these animals are. The communities that use them heavily really know how important they are. And actually, our story of the donkey, I always want to say this, is not peculiar to the world. Do you know what developed Europe? It is the horse.
Yeah.
That's why even power today, we measure it on horsepower. Horses got Europe from where we are to where they are. They still keep horses today, not for work, but for entertainment, for other things. And that's the same thing we are telling Africa. We have to preserve these animals. We need them today. They are helping us every day today. Tomorrow, the donkeys have lots of other uses. Lots of other uses. And we can mention those many uses into donkey milk, into donkeys in our sports and our culture. Lamu is doing cultural weeks and they're using donkeys. So let's preserve them today.